I wake up screaming. This is important, so please remember this detail. I do not wake up confused. I do not wake up groggy. I do not wake up like a normal transmigrator going, "Ah, yes, a new world." No, I wake up like I am actively being murdered by the universe. Ah, what is that? Who is howling? Why is it so loud? Something is howling outside. This is a wolf howl. I know this because my heart has already identified the threat and is trying to claw its way out of my ribcage. Before I explain anything else, there is one extremely critical fact you need to understand about me. I am afraid of dogs. Not the "I'm a little nervous but I can manage" kind of afraid. Not the "small dogs are okay" kind either. No, I mean the full, undignified, soul-deep fear. Dogs bark, I freeze. Dogs run toward me. I reconsider all my life choices. Dogs sniff me. I am already composing my will. I don't care how fluffy they are. I don't care if they're friendly. I don't care if they're wearing little sweaters and have names like Muffin. They have teeth. They have opinions. They move too fast. I respect them from a very safe distance and would like them to respect me back by never approaching me ever. Which means, and I cannot stress this enough, wolves are absolutely not on my acceptable animal list. A wolf is just a dog that looked at evolution and said, what if I was bigger, louder, and capable of coordinated murder? So when I say what happens next is unfair, cruel, and deeply personal, please understand that the universe knew exactly what it was doing. I sit straight up in bed. My heart is trying to claw its way out of my ribcage. Okay, I say to the empty room, voice already cracking. Okay, this is fine. This is probably fine. This is definitely not fine. The room is not my room. The ceiling is wooden. The air smells like pine and something warm and animal. The bed is too big. The blanket's too thick. And when I lift my hands are too pale, too slender, and covered in fur. I look down slowly, very slowly, like if I don't move too fast, reality might reconsider. White fur, soft, clean, not a costume, not gloves, attached to me. I scream again. This time it's louder. I launch myself out of bed, immediately trip on the hem of what appears to be a linen robe, and slam into a polished wooden table. Ow, what the hell? Why am I fuzzy? My reflection catches in a metal basin across the room. I freeze. The face staring back at me is not mine. It's beautiful, annoyingly so. Pale skin, silver hair falling loose over narrow shoulders, eyes too big and too bright. And on top of that head, two very real, very twitching wolf ears. No, I say. The ears twitch. No, 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 no. They flatten. There is a tail behind me. I don't need to look. I can feel it. I slowly, carefully turn my head. The tail swishes. I make a noise that can only be described as a soul leaving a body. Why do I have a tail? Whose tail is this? I grab it. Bad idea. Instant sensory feedback shoots up my spine like lightning. I shriek, release it, spin in a circle, trip again, and slam into the wall. Somewhere outside, the howling starts again. Closer this time. Stop howling. I'm busy having a crisis. I scream at the window. My chest is tight. Breathing is hard. Everything feels too loud, too sharp, too wrong. I stumble back to the basin, gripping the edge like it's the only thing anchoring me to existence. This is a dream. This is absolutely a dream. I probably fell asleep reading something stupid. This is my punishment. I splash water on my face. The wolf ears do not disappear. The tail does not disappear. The face staring back at me looks offended that I would even suggest such a thing. I am not equipped for this genre, I whisper. My legs start shaking. Okay, let's be logical. I'm calm. I can handle this. The scent hits me then. Strong, warm, like earth and fur and something else. Something that makes my stomach twist. Oh no, why does everything smell loud? I say weakly. The world tilts. I stagger backward, hit the bed, and collapse onto it, clutching my head. I didn't sign up for Omegaverse. I did not consent to fur. I say to the ceiling. My heart is racing. My hands are shaking. My ears are pinned flat against my head like they're embarrassed to be associated with me. The howling outside rises again, joined by others. Plural, multiple, wolves, pack. I scream into the pillow. Nope, nope, absolutely not. Someone rewind. I want to go back. I will apologize for everything I've ever done. The room starts spinning faster. My vision blurs. This is how I die, trampled by narrative conventions. The last thing I see is my reflection again. Beautiful, pale, dramatic, and clearly not coping. Then my consciousness gives up entirely. I faint. When I wake up later, surrounded by concerned voices and unfamiliar faces, I will learn several things. 1. My name is Alice. 2. I am an Omega. 3. I am a wolf. 4. According to everyone else, this body is considered exceptionally attractive. And 5. Most importantly, the general verdict on me is unanimous. Poor thing, someone whispers. So delicate, says another. Truly beautiful, 1/3 size. And finally, the conclusion. He's a bit unwell, isn't he? Yes, I am. And this world is a nightmare with fur. I wake up prepared to scream again. This time I don't. This is progress. Instead, I lie very still, staring at the unfamiliar ceiling, mentally cataloging my current problems. 1. I am still not in my body. 2. I am still fluffy. 3. I am apparently an Omega wolf, which sounds fake, but is tragically real. Also, there is a man sitting in a chair near my bed. A man, human-shaped, clothed, not howling, not furry, just sitting there calmly, reading a book. I make a small noise, somewhere between a gasp and a squeak. The man looks up. He has dark hair tied loosely at the nape of his neck, sharp eyes, but not sharp in a threatening way, more like observant, grounded, like a mountain that decided to learn how to read. Oh, he says. That's it. Just oh. No yelling, no reaching, no sudden movements. I clutch the blanket up to my chin like it will save me. Who are you? I demand weakly. My name is Damon. I'm the alpha of this pack. I scream. This one is very dignified, short, high-pitched, and full of despair. Why is it always an alpha? I yell. Damon winces slightly, just slightly, like someone who has been screamed at before and understands this is not about him. You're awake. That's good, he says gently. Do not that's good me. You could be a murderer. I'm not. A murderer would say that. That's fair. He's not arguing. That's unsettling. I wait for the punchline, the looming transformation, the sudden reveal of claws and fangs. Nothing happens. He just sits there, breathing, existing, human. My heart, traitor that it is, starts slowing down. Did you faint yesterday? He asks. I passed out from emotional damage. There's a difference. Damon nods like this makes sense. The healer said you had severe identity trauma. I call it hell. Another nod. Something about him is quiet. Not empty, not cold, just steady. Like his presence takes up space without demanding it. Against my will, words start spilling out of me. I'm not supposed to be here. I don't know how this happened. I was normal. I paid taxes. I did not have a tail. Damon listens. Doesn't interrupt. Doesn't look confused. Just listens. And then I woke up, and everyone keeps calling me beautiful and delicate, and I think that's a threat. I continue. Also, why do people howl at night? Is it mandatory? No. Some just like it. Evil. A corner of his mouth twitches. I realize abruptly that I am no longer shaking. I am sitting up, talking, breathing normally. This is suspicious. You're very calm, I accuse. I try to be. I don't trust that. That's also fair. Silence settles, not awkward, just there. I hug the blanket tighter. You're not transformed, I say quietly. No. You won't suddenly do it right now? No. Relief floods me so hard I nearly cry. Thank you. I would have died. Then, because my mouth is possessed, I add, you're my favorite person here. Damon considers this. I should mention that I can transform, he says. The world stops. I stare at him. He stares back. My soul leaves my body. You can what? I shriek, flinging myself off the bed and diving behind a heavy wooden cabinet. I knock over a chair in the process. Something crashes. I do not care. Stay back. I have nothing to lose. Damon stands slowly, hands visible. I'm not transforming, he says immediately. You just said you could. Yes. Not now. Not here. Not near you. I peek out from behind the cabinet. That might be difficult. Not near you, he repeats. Then, very clearly, very deliberately, he says, I will never transform near you without warning or consent. Something in my chest loosens. Really? Yes. No hesitation. No bargaining. I crawl out from behind the cabinet slowly, inch by inch, like I'm approaching a wild animal, which is ironic. I sit on the edge of the bed again, still watching him closely. You're safe? I say, mostly to myself. For now, he agrees. Trust, I realize, doesn't arrive like thunder. Sometimes it just sits there quietly, like an alpha who doesn't bare his fangs. I find out I can transform on the third day. This is important because by the third day, I am feeling optimistic. I know, rookie mistake. By the third day, I have learned several survival facts. 1. Damon keeps his promises. 2. No one has tried to bite me yet. 3. If I do not look directly at my ears, plural, still illegal, I can function. I am sitting on the edge of a bath, sleeves rolled up, staring very hard at the water, while a healer kneels nearby. Your recovery is progressing well. The shock should pass in time, she says kindly. I don't believe in time. I believe in immediate resolution. Damon stands by the door, arms crossed, human, solemn, blessedly unfurry. I relax a little, just knowing he's there. The healer smiles at me the way doctors do right before ruining your life. As an Omega, you'll eventually need to learn controlled transformation. I blink. Controlled what? Transformation. I laugh. I really do. It bursts out of me, loud, sharp, and a little unhinged. That's a good one. Very funny. You almost got me. The healer looks confused. Damon stiffens. No, I get it. I say, waving a hand. You're testing my coping mechanisms. Like exposure therapy. Ha, wolves. Me. Very clever, Alice. Alice, Damon says carefully. I'm not a wolf. I'm a person who happens to have ears. Accessories. Decorative. The healer exchanges a look with Damon. Oh no. Alice, Damon repeats. I stop laughing. What? I say slowly, dread pooling in my stomach. What does that look? Omegas transform just like alphas, the healer says gently. The room goes very quiet. I stare at her, then at Damon, then back at her. No, I say. Yes. No, I say louder. Yes, that's biology. I reject it. Damon opens his mouth. Do not confirm this. I snap, pointing at him. He closes his mouth. His silence confirms everything. I laugh again, higher this time. Okay, this is fine. I don't have to do it. I simply won't. You don't have a choice, the healer says. Watch me. My heart starts pounding. The room feels smaller. I'm not. I can't, I won't. I barely survived the years. My voice wobbles. Ellis, Damon says softly, stepping closer. You don't need to transform now. I will never transform. The universe, as usual, takes this personally. A strange heat curls in my chest. My hands tingle. I look down. The water in the basin ripples. Why is the water moving? I whisper. My fingers feel wrong. Heavy. Too big. I lower my hands into the water. What stares back at me is not a hand. It is a paw. White fur. Claws. Pads. I scream. Not externally. but internally, my soul is shrieking. NOH. I yell, jerking my hands out. No, 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 no. Damon lunges forward. Ellis. I scramble backward, slipping on the wet floor, slamming into the bath. I'm turning into myself. This is the worst sentence I've ever said. I scream. My sleeves tear as for creeps up my arms. I bolt. Bad idea. I run out of the bathing room, down the hall, screaming incoherently. Make it stop. Why is it happening? I didn't agree to this. I trip over my own feet, or paws, I don't know, and crash spectacularly into the floor. Everything spins. The last thing I see is Damon skidding to his knees beside me, eyes wide with alarm. Then darkness. When I wake up, I am in bed again. This is becoming a pattern. My arms are human. I do not check anything else. Damon is sitting nearby, relief obvious on his face. You fainted, he says. I know. I saw it, I croak. The healer sighs from the other side of the room. Severe identity trauma, she says to no one in particular. I call it hell, I snap. She pats my shoulder anyway. Damon watches me carefully. I'm sorry, he says. This is not your fault. It's existence's. I stare at the ceiling. I'm never doing that again. Damon doesn't argue, which somehow makes it worse. They say I'll have to face it eventually. I say, eventually can wait. The world has wolves. I am one of them, and this remains objectively the worst day ever. I learn I am going on an escort mission because no one asks me. This is apparently how packs work. Damon tells me while I am eating breakfast. I am mid-bite. This is important because choking to death on porridge would have been a kinder fate. We're escorting a supply caravan to the southern border. You'll come with us, he says calmly. I swallow painfully. Why? Because you're under my protection. That sounds fake. It's not. I would like to unsubscribe. Damon looks at me. The look says, I'm not leaving you behind where you can panic alone. I hate that it works. The pack assembles at dawn. There are wolves everywhere. Correction. There are people everywhere who I know, with chilling certainty, can become wolves at any moment. I clutch my bag like it contains my soul. Why are there so many? I whisper to Damon. It's a pack. Yes, but must they all exist at once? Damon puts me on a horse. This is also not a discussion. He mounts behind me so I don't have to see the others. Bless this man. I cling to the saddle horn with white-knuckle desperation. If I die, tell everyone I was brave, I say. Damon huffs a quiet laugh. You're already shaking. That's bravery. We travel for hours. I do not relax. I catalog every sound, every movement, every whiff of first scent air. Occasionally someone howls in the distance. I scream every time. The pack pretends not to notice. This is humiliating. The ambush happens at noon. I know this because suddenly arrows are flying, people are shouting, and Damon is swearing under his breath. Bandits, someone yells. Oh, thank God. Humans, I cry. Damon stiffens. Alice. The wolves jump off. I grab Damon's sleeve. Don't. I have to. No, you don't. He looks back at me. I'm serious. I'll warn you. Then he steps away and transforms. I scream. This is reflective, Pavlovian, deeply ingrained. I slam my eyes shut. There are snarls, crashes, the sound of bodies hitting the ground. Someone roars. I am crying. I hate this. I did not ask for this arc. I didn't ask for this arc. I yell. A bandit runs past me. I see it. Left flank. 3 of them. I shriek. The one with the red scar is faking a retreat. Knowledge. Someone listens. I don't know who, but suddenly wolves are intercepting them. Another shout. More chaos. Their archers are too high. Drive them down. Don't chase. They want you to separate. I yell. Someone actually responds. Do it. Wait. Did they just listen to me? Bad idea. Wolves everywhere. I scream again. But I keep talking. The wagon. Protect the wagon. They're aiming for the axle. A wolf barrels into a bandit before he can strike. My heart is trying to exit my body. I am sobbing. I am also apparently a battlefield tactician. Why do I know this? I have never been in a fight. I scream. The answer is probably panic. Sharpens the brain. Or I'm possessed. Either way, the bandits retreat. Silence falls. I slide off the horse and collapse to my knees. Damon returns to human form a moment later, immediately kneeling in front of me. You're safe, he says. I grab his sleeve. Never again. He nods. We'll see. I sob into his shoulder. Later, as the pack regroups, I notice something strange. They're looking at me, not with pity, with interest. One of them approaches. You saw the flank early, she says. I was screaming. Yes, but accurately. Another nods. You read their movement. I was having a breakdown. That doesn't negate the result. I stare at them. Damon watches quietly. The pack's gaze shifts. Respect, uneasy, curious. I clutch Damon's sleeve harder. I'm still scared, I say. Damon answers without hesitation. That's allowed. Good. Because I am. That night as we camp, I sit close to Damon, back to his chest. I shut tight. The wolves howl again. I flinch, but I don't faint. Apparently that's growth. And somehow, against all odds, the pack now thinks I'm terrifying, in a completely different way. Which is worse. Night falls. This is how horror stories begin. During the day, I can pretend I am functional. During the day, wolves are people, and people are mostly shaped like people, and the sun lies to me convincingly enough that I almost believe I'm safe. At night, the wolves remember they are wolves. The howling starts just after the fire dies down. One voice, then another, then many. It crawls under my skin. My hands start shaking before I realize it's happening. I curl tighter into my blanket. It's fine. It's fine. They're just communicating. Like phones. Very loud phones. I whisper. A howl cuts closer. My chest locks up. My ears, my traitorous ears, flatten against my head. I suck in air and get very little back. Nope. No. 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 Not tonight, I say. I scramble to my feet and make it approximately 3 steps before my knees give out. I clutch at nothing. Damon is there. Of course he is. He catches me before I hit the ground. Ellis. I'm here, he says quietly. I grab him like a lifeline. I don't even pretend otherwise. My fingers fist in his clothes, shaking violently. I can hear them. I gasp. They're everywhere. They're so loud. I know they're not doing anything. But what if they are? And what if I don't notice until it's too late? And I'm not leaving, Damon says. He sits down with me, back against a tree, solid and human and real. He does not transform. He does not ask me to breathe. He just stays. I bury my face in his shoulder. I hate night. Night is a liar. Night pretends everything is fine and then does this. You don't have to like it, Damon says. My whole body is trembling. I am painfully aware of how close we are, of how warm he is, of how steady his breathing is compared to my disaster of a nervous system. I'm sorry I'm like this every time, I say. You don't need to apologize. I'm being difficult. I know you're afraid. That hits harder than it should. I'm not brave, I whisper. I know. That was supposed to make me feel better. It should, he says gently. You don't pretend. I laugh weakly into his shoulder. I would be very bad at pretending. Minutes pass, or hours. Time is fake. The howling fades eventually. My shaking slows. Damon's hand rests on my back, warm, steady. Without thinking, he leans down and presses a light kiss to my forehead. It's barely there. Soft, careful. The universe explodes. My brain short-circuits. I pull back with a strangled sound. Why did you do that? I shriek. Damon freezes instantly. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. No, wait. I say frantically. I didn't mean, My heart is pounding again, but not from fear. My face is on fire. I stare at him. He looks just as startled. This is bad. This is very bad. So naturally, I grab his collar and kiss him on the lips. Full contact. No planning. No warning. 1 second of absolute silence. Then I scream. What did I just do? I shut myself backward so hard I nearly fall over. Damon stares at me like I just rewrote reality. You, Ellis. I panicked. This is a panic response. I yell. That was a kiss. I know. Silence. Crickets. My soul attempting to exit my body again. Damon rubs the back of his neck. Are you okay? No. Do you regret it? I open my mouth. Close it. Open it again. I regret the screaming. I say weakly. His lips twitch. We sit there, flustered and glowing and deeply aware of each other in a way that did not exist an hour ago. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. I say. Damon nods solemnly. Understood. Good. We do not move. We absolutely do not address it. The night remains quiet. And somehow, impossibly, I fall asleep against him. The next morning, no one mentions it. Damon does not kiss my forehead again. I do not scream. Progress. Terrifying. Deeply confusing progress. I learn about the Festival of Wolves the same way I learn about most terrible things in my life. Too late. It's tradition, someone says cheerfully, as if that explains why I am about to be emotionally destroyed. We celebrate the full moon, another adds. I stare at them. With wolves. Yes. Transforming wolves. Yes. At night. Yes. I turn slowly to Damon. You knew about this. Damon does not deny it. I was hoping you wouldn't ask. I inhale. Exhale. In my defense, if I had known, I would have faked my death, I say calmly. You can't skip it. All pack members must attend, someone says apologetically. I am new. I am fragile. I am spiritually allergic. They smile at me like I'm a child insisting vegetables are poison. Night falls. The moon rises. I am already sweating. The clearing fills with people, torches, music, laughter, anticipation. Everyone is too excited. This is concerning. Damon stands beside me, human, steady. I'll stay like this, he says quietly. I clutch his sleeve. Forever. For tonight. I accept this. The moon crests fully overhead, and then, one by one, they transform. Fur explodes everywhere. Bones crack. Bodies shift. Wolves replace people like a magic trick I did not consent to watching. I scream. I dive. I do not know where I am diving. Only that my survival instincts have seized the wheel. I end up under a heavy wooden table, curled into a ball, dragging Damon down with me. This is my home now. I live here, I announce hysterically. Damon crouches beside me without hesitation. Above us, wolves everywhere. How are you feeling? He asks. I am experiencing all emotions simultaneously. A massive gray wolf pads past. A point. Look at that one. Why is it so big? It's showing off. Damon peers out calmly. That's the blacksmith. I do not care. Another wolf snorts nearby. I shriek and scoot deeper under the table. Back off. I will bite. That's ironic, Damon murmurs. I will bite badly. The wolves circle the clearing, howling joyfully. I clap my hands over my ears. This is the worst party I've ever been to. Where are the snacks? Why is everyone naked, but with fur? Damon snorts before he can stop himself. You think this is funny? I accuse. A little. Traitor. A wolf sticks its head under the table, curious. I scream directly at its face. Go away. You are majestic and terrifying, and I respect you from afar. The wolf blinks, then withdraws. Damon is shaking with silent laughter. You're encouraging them, he says. I am asserting boundaries. Hours pass. I remain under the table. Damon remains human. He does not complain. At one point, he offers me water. I drink it like a feral creature. At another point, I start muttering insults. Why do they all look so confident? Who gave them that much self-esteem? A wolf howls nearby. Yes, I heard you. Very impressive lungs. Damon rests his shoulder lightly against mine. You're doing well, he says. I laugh weakly. I haven't fainted. That counts. I peek out again. The wolves dance, run, celebrate. They look happy. I swallow. They're not monsters, I admit quietly. No, but I still hate this, I add immediately. I know. Something about him staying, about choosing discomfort over tradition, settles in my chest. You didn't have to stay human. Yes, I did. I lean my head against his arm. Thank you. He doesn't answer, but he shifts closer. When the moon sets, the wolves slowly turn back into people. I do not come out from under the table until Damon confirms, Weiss, that it's over. As we walk back, people smile at me fondly. One of them laughs. You yelled at my brother. I meant it. Damon watches me with something warm in his eyes. I pretend not to notice, but I do. I always do. The Festival of Wolves is officially declared an absolute disaster. But Damon stayed, and somehow, that makes it survivable. I am informed we are going to a border negotiation. I am not asked. This is becoming a theme. There's tension with the Eastern Pact, Damon explains, adjusting his armor straps. They're pushing into our territory. And this concerns me. Why? Because you have a calming presence. I choke. Hey, what? You destabilize people. That is not calming. It's effective. I stare at him in betrayal. We arrive at the border at noon. It's a wide clearing ringed by trees, heavy with the kind of silence that says violence is considering its options. The Eastern Pack is already there, in wolf form. All of them. Every single one. I stop walking. Nope. I see the problem. The problem is wolves. Damon's hand settles lightly at my back. You don't have to speak. Just stay close. I am going to scream, I warn. That's fine. I am surrounded. Not crowded, deliberately spaced, which is worse. Golden eyes, gray fur, black fur. Massive bodies. Teeth. My heart is pounding so hard I can hear it in my ears. I do not faint. I consider it, but I don't. Progress is real and also miserable. A massive wolf steps forward, shifting into human form mid-stride. They're alpha, tall, scarred. Smiling like this is entertaining. So, this is the delicate Omega, he says. I snap. I am standing right here, and I am extremely aware of all of you. I yell. There's a murmur through the wolves. Damon stiffens. The alpha raises a brow. Loud, isn't he? Yes, he is, Damon says calmly. I shake. My knees wobble. But my mouth works perfectly. You're over the boundary stones. 3 of them. You move them at night. Sloppy work, by the way. I say, voice high but clear. The alpha blinks. That land is ours by right. No, it's yours by convenience. There's a difference. Silence. You're pushing because you think we won't push back. Because you think we're too busy keeping trade routes open. Because you think this pack is tired. The wolves shift uneasily. You start a conflict, you don't just fight us. You disrupt the southern caravans. You scare the neutral packs. You get attention. The alpha narrows his eyes. From whom? Everyone. Including the council you already annoyed last winter. I continue, words spilling now. Damon glances at me. Keep going. You win territory and you lose allies. Or you step back, call this a misunderstanding, and everyone forgets it happened. Which one sounds smarter? The clearing is silent. My hands are shaking violently now. I am terrified, but I am upright. I am talking. The alpha studies me for a long moment. Then he laughs. Bold for prey. I bare my teeth. Try me. I'm already having a bad life. Damon makes a strangled sound that might be laughter. The alpha lifts a hand. The wolves begin to back away. Fine. We'll withdraw. For now. Relief crashes through me, so hard my vision blurs. I sag. Damon catches me instantly. You did well, he murmurs. I'm going to throw up. That's allowed. Later. Safely away, I sit on a rock, knees pulled to my chest, shaking. I didn't faint. I screamed, but I spoke. Damon crouches in front of me. You were brave. I was terrified. Yes. Both. I exhale shakily. Okay. I can live with that. The wolves watch me differently now. Not gently, carefully. Like they've realized I bite in a different way. And somehow, Damon looks at me like he always has. Steady, human, safe. Fear doesn't leave. It just makes room. The problem with surviving something terrifying is that once it's over, your body remembers it happened. Mine remembers very well. We get back to camp at dusk. People are relieved, talking, laughing, already filing the conflict away as resolved. I am not. I sit down, and then I don't get back up. Damon notices immediately. He always does. He dismisses everyone else with a look and crouches in front of me. You're shaking, he says. I know. I can feel it. My hands won't stop trembling. My throat feels tight, like it's closing in on itself. I laugh weakly. This is very embarrassing. I didn't faint. I thought that meant I won. Damon doesn't smile. He just waits. And somehow that makes everything spill out. I'm so tired. I'm tired of being scared all the time. I'm scared when I wake up, scared when I sleep, scared when it's quiet, and scared when it's loud. I'm scared of mirrors and water and night and myself. My eyes burn. I don't get a break. I don't get to forget. Damon listens, doesn't interrupt, doesn't tell me it'll get better. I try. I continue, words tumbling faster now. I really do. I scream and I panic, and everyone thinks it's funny or endearing or tragic, but it's just loud in my head all the time. My breath stutters. I don't want to be brave. I just want to be calm. Silence stretches between us. Damon finally speaks. I can't promise that, he says. I flinch. But I can stay when you are afraid. Something in my chest twists painfully. You won't fix it. No. You won't make it go away. No. You'll just be there. Yes. That's it. No grand declarations. No destiny. Just presence. I laugh, wet and broken. Gods, that's unfairly effective. My hands are still shaking. My heart is still racing. But I look at him. Really look. Human. Solid. Here. Damon, I say quietly. Yes. I'm going to do something, and I need you not to freak out. He considers this. I'll try. I shift closer, slowly, deliberately. Every instinct in me is screaming, but I ignore it for once. My hand hovers near his sleeve. I pull back, then force myself to try again. My fingers brush his arm. I'm shaking visibly now. Damon does not move. Is this okay? I ask. Yes, he says immediately. So I lean in. Not fast. Not panicked. Slow. Careful. I kiss him. It's nothing like the first one. No crash. No screaming. No immediate regret. Just warmth. Contact. Choice. I pulled back after a moment. Breath uneven. My fear is still there. So is the trembling. But this time, I don't scream. Damon's voice is low. Are you okay? I'm terrified, I say honestly. He nods. And I wanted to do that. Very badly. A soft smile touches his mouth. Good. I lean my forehead against his shoulder, exhausted. Don't read into this too much. I'm still a disaster. I know. And I'm still scared. I know. You're not leaving? No. I close my eyes. For the first time since I got here, the fear doesn't disappear, but it quiets. Just enough. Later, lying awake staring at the stars, I realize something dangerous. I don't feel cured. I feel chosen. And worse, I chose back. The thing about setting boundaries is that the universe hears them and immediately goes. Interesting. Let's test that. The morning starts peacefully, which, in retrospect, should have terrified me. Damon and I are walking the perimeter with a few others. Human form. Calm. Sunlight filtering through the trees. I am almost relaxed. I hate that it always feels like tempting fate. Just so we're clear, I'm still afraid of dogs. Still afraid of wolves. Still not suddenly cured by romance. I say. Damon nods. Understood. And if you transform near me without warning, I will scream, cry, possibly die, and haunt you. He gives a small smile. Duly noted. This is how things are now. Clear, careful, quietly chosen. Which is why, when the first howl cuts through the air, my blood turns to ice. It's wrong, not ours. Too sharp, too aggressive, too many voices overlapping. Someone shouts, "Rival pack." Everything explodes into motion. I'm pushed back instinctively, heart hammering. People scatter, weapons drawn, the air filling with tension and scent and adrenaline so thick it makes my head spin. "Ellis, stay back," Damon says sharply. I know it. I absolutely plan to do that. And then it happens. Too fast, too sudden. Damon shifts, not near me, far enough. Always careful, but I see it anyway. Bone and fur and power snapping into place. A massive silver wolf launches forward to intercept an incoming attacker. Then impact. A blur of motion. A scream, not mine. Damon is thrown sideways, slamming hard into the ground. He doesn't get back up. Blood hits the dirt. My lungs forget how to work. No. The fight moves on. Others engage the attackers, shouting, claws, chaos. Damon is still. I run to him without thinking. Then I stop, because he's a wolf. Huge, bloody, breathing shallow. Every instinct in my body denigrates. Too big, too close. Teeth, fur. I drop to my knees anyway. "Damon," I whisper. "Damon, don't you dare. You don't get to die after everything." He whines softly, weak, in pain. That sound snaps something in me. I can do this. I can do this. I just have to move him. That's it. Pick him up. Simple. Very simple. Like lifting a couch. Or a nightmare. I tell myself desperately. I grab under his chest and pull. Nothing happens. I try again, teeth clenched, muscles screaming. He doesn't budge. He's too heavy, too large, too wolf. I laugh hysterically. "Oh, you've got to be kidding me." I gasp. I face my fears, and this is where my upper body strength fails me. Damon whines again, pain, sharper now. My heart cracks. "Okay," I whisper. "Okay, fine, fine." Heat floods my body. Fear surges with it, screaming, clawing, begging me to stop. I ignore it. My vision blurs. Fur spreads across my skin. Bones shift. The ground feels closer. I transform fully, for the second time in my life. I am crying the entire time. A wolf stands where I was. Smaller than Damon, but strong enough. Shaking, terrified. I press my body against his, hook my jaws carefully into his scruff, brace my legs, and pull. This time he moves. I drag him step by agonizing step. Every sound too loud, every scent overwhelming. But I don't stop. I don't think. I just move. By the time we reach the healers, I collapse beside him, still in wolf form, chest heaving. Hands touch me gently. Voices murmur. He transforms for him. Someone whispers. I don't care. Damon lives. That's all that matters. I wake up convinced that I have died. This conclusion is based on several observations. 1. Everything hurts, but in a distant, floaty way, like my soul has been mildly inconvenienced. 2. The air smells too clean. 3. Damon is sitting beside my bed, alive. This last point is suspicious. I blink at him. He blinks back. "You're real?" I say hoarsely. "Yes." "You're not bleeding?" "No." "You're not a giant dog?" "No." I squint harder. "Are you sure?" Damon exhales softly, the corner of his mouth twitching. "Ellis, I'm fine." I immediately burst into tears. This is deeply embarrassing, but frankly, the emotional backlog has been waiting its turn. Damon doesn't panic. He never does. He just shifts closer and lets me cry into his sleeve like a person whose nervous system has finally given up pretending. "I carried you," I sob. "I didn't mean to. I mean, I did. But also I didn't, and you were so heavy, and I was so scared, and I think I growled at a healer." "You did," he confirms gently. "I'm so sorry. They deserved it." I laugh weakly, then hiccup, He does not bring it up. We exist carefully around it, like a large emotional piece of furniture neither of us knows where to put. The pack wins, not through violence, but strategy, negotiation, displays of strength that don't require blood. The rival pack backs off. Territory is secured. Alliances reaffirmed. People congratulate Damon. People look at me differently, with awe, with confusion, with a little fear. I do not like it. One wolf bows to me once. I scream and hide behind Damon. Please don't do that. I am not divine. I am stressed. The first time Damon transforms again, it is far away across a clearing, surrounded by others, controlled. He warns me first. Ellis, I'm going to shift, he says quietly. My heart spikes. My hands shake. Okay, don't look at me. Or do, I don't know. Just, okay, I whisper. I turn away. I still hear it. Bones. Fur. Power. I do not faint. This feels like a victory. Later, I sit beside him while he's in wolf form, separated by 3 careful feet of space. I don't touch him, but I don't run. Damon watches me, golden eyes soft. You don't have to push yourself, he says. I know. That's why this counts. One evening, as the sun dips low and everything feels almost peaceful, Damon speaks. You saved my life. I stare at the fire. I panic the entire time. Yes, I was terrified. Yes, I still am. I know. I swallow. Does that make it less impressive? No. It makes it everything. I don't answer. My throat is tight. Instead, I lean just slightly against his arm. He doesn't move, doesn't flinch, just stays. I do not suspect anything at first. This is my first mistake. The day is calm, suspiciously calm. No howling, no emergencies, no one bleeding. The sky is blue in a way that feels personally threatening. Damon asks me to walk with him, just a walk. In retrospect, this should have been my second mistake. We go to a clearing near the river, the same one where I screamed at my reflection weeks ago. The grass is neat, too neat. Someone has decorated. There are flowers. There are candles. There is an audience hiding very badly behind trees. I stop walking. Damon, why does this feel like a trap? He exhales a small, faint sound. Ellis, I will turn around right now if this is a wolf thing. I am not emotionally prepared for surprises. I know. He turns to face me. He does not kneel. Thank the heavens. If he knelt, I would pass out instantly and haunt everyone involved. Ellis, he says, voice steady. I love you. I freeze. This is unfair. He knows words are my weakness. I love you even when you're afraid. Especially when you're afraid. You don't pretend. You don't hide it. You choose anyway. I don't want to change you. I don't want you to stop being afraid. I just want to stand with you. I am shaking. Actively. Visibly. Damon, are you proposing to me? I whisper. Yes. Oh no. I make a noise, somewhere between a laugh, a sob, and a dying kettle. You know I'm a disaster. I panic at dogs. And you are a giant dog. I know. And you're still asking? Yes. I stare at him. I'm scared. I know. I might always be. I know. Okay. I say faintly. Okay. Yes. Yes, I'll marry you. Please don't die. He smiles. I cry. The pack cheers. I meant howls. What a headache. The wedding is, by all accounts, a success. By my accounts, it is a controlled catastrophe. I wear white, of course I do. Someone says I look radiant. Someone else says I look like I might flee at any moment. Both are correct. Damon waits at the front. Human. Always human. He promised. The vows are spoken. I forget half of mine. Damon kisses my forehead, then my lips. I do not scream this time. This is also progress. Later, much later, when the celebration has quieted and the moon hangs low, I stand in front of a mirror again. Still ears. Still tail. Still me. I glare at my reflection. You're married now. Behave. Arms wrap around me from behind. Damon's reflection meets mine. I lean back into him, shaking just a little. Only you're allowed, I mutter. He holds me tighter. I know. 2 months later, I wake up nauseous. This is unacceptable. I glare at the ceiling. I swear to God, if this is wolves again, it happens again. I bolt upright. Damon is immediately awake, because of course he is. I feel strange, I say. He looks concerned, which is rude. How strange. I want to throw up. I want to cry. I want to eat everything in the kitchen and then fight the kitchen for more. There is a pause. A very specific pause. Damon's eyes widen just a fraction. Oh no, I say immediately. No, 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 no. Don't look at me like that. Alice Inno. I repeat, louder. Absolutely not. He gently takes my hands, like he's approaching a feral animal. I think you might be pregnant, he says carefully. The world ends. What? I say calmly, while my soul leaves my body and files for divorce. That's not possible. You're an Omega. Yes. And you're my fated mate? Yes. And we marked. Yes. And we make love almost every day. Well, that's because you are a pervert, Alice. You did not tell me this could happen. It is common knowledge. Well, in my defense, a man can't be pregnant. But you are not just a man. You are an Omega and a wolf. I start pacing. So I am having a puppy. Inside my body. A baby, he corrects gently. It is a puppy. He pulls me into his arms as I completely lose my mind. I am going to scream forever. It's going to come out of my stomach. Ellis, breathe. I am breathing violently. He kisses my hair. I scream again. The pack doctor arrives, because of course someone heard. The doctor is old, calm, smiling in a way that suggests he has seen everything. He takes one look at me, wild-eyed, pacing, halfway to hysteria, and nods thoughtfully. Ah yes, that looks about right. What looks about right? I demand. Damon answers, traitorously. Could you confirm? The doctor steps closer. I immediately put him in a headlock. I will yank to you. You are not touching me with your medical hands. Ellis, he's 70. Damon says gently, pry me off. He should have retired. The doctor straightens his robes calmly, completely unbothered. Yes, congratulations. You are, without question, pregnant. Silence. Then, I knew it. I scream. I knew it, and no one warned me. The doctor smiles serenely. Omega pregnancy is quite common after marking. I lunge again. Damon catches me around the waist. This is a conspiracy. You all knew. We assumed you knew, the doctor says kindly. Well, I didn't. The doctor pats my shoulder. Strong heartbeat. Healthy. I do not care. Damon hugs me tighter as I shake, scream, and point accusingly at my own stomach. I am having a puppy out of my tummy. I yell to the room. A baby. Everyone says in unison. Puppy. Somewhere outside, wolves howl. And this nightmare of living with giant, scary dogs finally became my destiny. My weird, terrifying, beautiful destiny. The pack doctor, bless his ancient, unflappable soul, prescribed bed rest, herbal tonics, and emotional stability. I laughed so hard I nearly went into early labor. Emotional stability? I shrieked at Damon. I am carrying a puppy inside my body. There is no emotional stability. There is only survival. Damon, infuriatingly calm, just nodded and said, I'll handle the screaming. He did. He handled all of it. The midnight cravings for things that didn't exist in this world. The sobbing fits because a cloud looked slightly different than it did yesterday. The moments when I froze, hand on my growing belly, overwhelmed by the terrifying realization that something living was inside me. What if I'm a bad parent? I whispered one night, curled against him. Damon's hand rested on my stomach, warm and steady. You're already a good parent. I haven't done anything. You're terrified, and you're still here. That's most of it. I cried again. Pregnancy hormones are unfair, and Damon's quiet sincerity is a weapon I was not prepared for. The pack, to my surprise, rallied. The healer visited daily. The cook sent up special meals. Wolves, actual, fur-covered wolves, left offerings at our door. I screamed every time I opened it. They're being nice, Damon explained. They have teeth. Their niceness is threatening. But slowly something shifted. I stopped flinching every time someone transformed nearby. I stopped hiding under tables during howling sessions. I even, once, petted one of the younger wolves. It was brief. My hand shook the entire time, and I screamed immediately afterward. But I did it. Progress, Damon said. I'm going to throw up. That too. The nesting instinct hit me like a freight train. I didn't expect it. I thought nesting was for birds and especially organized people. But one morning, I woke up possessed by the overwhelming need to rearrange every piece of furniture in our home. The crib needs to face east, I announced. Damon looked up from his morning tea. Why? Because he helped. He always helped. He moved the crib, then moved it back when I changed my mind, then moved it to a completely different room when I decided the nursery was cursed. He did not complain. He did not sigh. He just lifted and carried and adjusted, patient as stone. You're going to spoil me, I said, watching him rearrange the blankets for the 5th time. That's the plan. I'm still going to scream during labor. I know. I'll probably bite you. I'll wear gloves. I laughed despite myself. You're insane. You married me. That's on me. We spent the afternoon folding tiny clothes, a gift from the pack, each piece handmade and absurdly soft. I held up a miniature shirt and stared at it. It's so small, I whispered. So is the person who's going to wear it. What if I drop it? You won't. What if I drop him? Damon crossed the room and pulled me into his arms. Then I'll catch him. I leaned into him, breathing in his scent, earth and fur, and something uniquely him. When did I become someone who loves an alpha wolf? About the time you started yelling at bandits. There. The labor started at dawn. I had been warned, but warning and experience are very different things. One moment I was eating breakfast. The next I was doubled over, convinced the universe was personally extracting revenge. It's time, Damon said, somehow calm. It's too early. I'm not ready. Tell the baby to wait. That's not how it works. Well, it should be. The healer arrived. The pack gathered outside, howling, because of course they did. I screamed at them to stop. They did not stop. I screamed louder. Damon held my hand through all of it. He did not clench when I squeezed until his bones cracked. He did not complain when I called him every name I could think of. He just stayed, solid and steady, breathing with me, grounding me. You're doing well, he said. I am literally being torn apart, and you're doing it beautifully. I would have hit him, but I was too busy pushing. The baby arrived just after noon. Small, red-faced, screaming with a fury that would have made me proud if I weren't so exhausted. The healer placed him on my chest, and the world stopped. He had Damon's dark hair, my pale skin, wolf ears, tiny and twitching, a tail curled against his side. He's perfect, I whispered. Damon's eyes were wet. He's you. He's ours. Outside, the pack howled, not in warning, but in celebration. And for the first time, I didn't flinch. I just held my son and let the sound wash over me. We named him Leo. It seemed like a good name, strong, simple, not too wolf-related. Also, I liked the sound of it. Damon agreed, because he agreed with most things I said when I was holding a baby. Leo slept most of the first day. I did not sleep at all. I watched him breathe, terrified he would stop. Every tiny movement made me gasp. Every quiet moment made me reach out to check his chest. He's fine, Damon said. What if he's not? Then I'll be not fine with you. That helped, somehow, knowing I wasn't alone in the worrying. The pack visited in shifts, filing past the door to catch a glimpse of the new pup. I stopped screaming after the third group. Progress. One of them, a young wolf named Mira, brought a hand-knitted blanket. She bowed awkwardly. I bowed back, even more awkwardly. He's beautiful, she said. He screams a lot. Like his father? I looked at Damon. He looked at me. We both laughed. Yes, I said. Exactly like his father. Leo's first howl came at 3 in the morning on his 5th day. I was half asleep, dreaming of tax forms and overdue assignments, the lingering ghost of my old life. Then a sound cut through the quiet. Small, wobbly, unmistakably wolf. I shot upright. Damon was already awake, staring at the bassinet. Was that? I started. Leo howled again, louder this time. His tiny ears flattened, then perked, as if he was testing his own abilities. He's howling, I said, voice cracking. He's howling, Damon confirmed. We listened as our son found his voice, not in words, but in the ancient language of wolves. It was absurd. It was terrifying. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. I'm still afraid of dogs, I whispered. I know, but I'm not afraid of him. Damon pulled me close. That's all that matters. Leo's first transformation happened at 2 months old. I was not prepared. No one warned me that wolf pups could shift so early. One moment he was a baby, chubby, bald, screaming for milk. The next, there was a wolf cub in his crib. I screamed. The cub, Leo, definitely Leo, cocked his head and yipped. Damon, I yelled. Damon appeared in the doorway, took one look at the situation, and started laughing. He shifted. I can see that. Make him UN shift. He doesn't know how yet. So he's just going to be a wolf? Forever? Probably not forever. That's not reassuring. The cub, Leo, wobbled to his feet and promptly fell over. He tried again, fell again. By the 3rd attempt, I was crying. Not from fear. From the overwhelming ridiculousness of it all. This tiny, clumsy creature was my son. My wolf son. My wolf son who couldn't figure out his legs and smelled faintly of milk and fur. I reached into the crib. My hands shook, but I picked him up anyway. He yipped again, snuggled against my chest, and promptly fell asleep. Damon came up behind me, wrapping his arms around both of us. You're holding a wolf, he said. I'm holding our son. That too. Leo grew fast. Too fast, according to my heart. He learned to crawl, then walk, then run, usually directly toward the nearest wolf. I spent months intercepting him, scooping him up, explaining that not everyone appreciated a face full of fur. But they're fluffy, he said. Fluffy and terrifying. Papa, you're weird. I am surviving. Damon watched our exchanges with quiet amusement. He never corrected me, never told me to be braver. He just let me navigate parenthood in my own chaotic way. The pack adored Leo. They brought him gifts, taught him to howl, let him ride on their backs during full moons. I learned to tolerate it, mostly because Leo's joy was brighter than my fear. You've changed, Damon said one evening, watching me watch our son play with the pups. No, I haven't. You let him run with them. I let him run near them. There's a difference. Damon kissed my temple. That's more than before. I leaned into him. He's worth it. Leo was 3 when he asked the question I'd been dreading. Papa, why are you scared of wolves? We were sitting on the porch, watching the back play in the meadow. Leo was in human form. His transformation control was excellent, unlike mine, curled against my side. I took a long breath. It's a long story. I have time. He was 3. He didn't have time. But he had patience, and somehow that was worse. When I was young, not you young, but another life young, I was afraid of dogs. Big ones, small ones, all of them. And wolves are just bigger dogs. Leo tilted his head. But you're not afraid of me. You're my son. And Damon. I looked across the meadow to where Damon was running with the younger wolves, laughing, human-shaped, steady. I'm not afraid of him either. So you're afraid of wolves, except the ones you love? I blinked. Ah, yes. I guess so. Leo nodded sagely. That's okay, Papa. You can be afraid and still love them. I pulled him into my arms, overwhelmed by the simple wisdom of a child. When did you get so smart? Damon taught me. Of course he did. That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling. Damon's arm was around me, Leo's small body wedged between us. The pack held softly in the distance, and for the first time, I didn't tense. I just listened. Fear didn't leave. It just made room. For love, for family, for a life I never asked for but couldn't imagine leaving. I pressed a kiss to Leo's forehead, then turned to Damon. Thank you. For what? For staying. He smiled, soft in the moonlight. Always. Years passed. Leo grew. The pack changed. New pups were born. Old wolves passed. But some things remained constant. Damon's steady presence, Leo's bright laughter, and my ongoing, irrational fear of strange wolves. I never stopped screaming when a wolf appeared without warning. I never stopped hiding under tables during full moon celebrations. But I also never stopped loving my family. You're a strange Omega, the healer said one day, patting my shoulder. I know, but you're ours. I looked at Damon, at Leo, at the pack surrounding us. Yeah, I said. I guess I am. The howling started again. I didn't flinch. Progress. Leo's first day of pack school arrived with the force of a natural disaster. I had spent the entire night pacing, rearranging his supplies, and mentally composing a list of everything that could go wrong. What if he shifts in class and they don't know how to help him? I demanded, following Damon around our bedroom as he dressed. They're wolves. They shift too. What if someone is mean to him? He's the alpha's son. No one will be mean to him. What if he gets lost? The school is a single building. What if he hates it? Damon stopped and turned to face me, hands on my shoulders. Ellis, he's going to be fine. You don't know that. I know that he's brave, kind, and stubborn, like you. He'll figure it out. I wanted to argue, but he had a point. Leo had inherited my stubbornness and Damon's steadiness. He was also, at 5 years old, already better at managing his transformations than I was. I'm still going to worry, I said. I'd be concerned if you didn't. Leo ran into the room, backpack swinging, ears perked. Papa, I'm ready. I knelt down to adjust his collar, a habit I'd picked up, though he didn't need it. You're going to have so much fun. Will there be snacks? Probably. Will there be howling? Almost certainly. He grinned, showing tiny fangs. This is the best day ever. I walked him to the school gates, heart racing. Damon squeezed my hand. Leo waved and disappeared into the crowd of wolf pups. I stood there for a long moment, frozen. He's fine, Damon said. I know. You can let go of my hand now. No. He laughed and held on tighter. Leo came home from school 3 weeks later with a confession. Papa, I did something. I stopped stirring the soup. What kind of something? The good kind. That's not an answer. Leo shuffled his feet. I may have challenged the pack elder's son. The world tilted. You what? He said Omegas were weak. I said he was wrong. He said prove it. So I did. Leo puffed out his chest. I won. I looked at Damon, who had just entered the room. Did you know about this? Damon's expression was carefully neutral. I may have heard something. And you didn't think to tell me. He handled it well. He challenged a fight, a sparring match. Very civilized. I pressed my hands to my face. I am going to have a heart attack. This family is going to kill me. Leo tugged my sleeve. Papa, it's okay. I didn't even shit. I used words. I lowered my hands. You used words. He was bigger than me. I couldn't win with teeth. So I asked him why he thought Omegas were weak. He couldn't answer. Then I told him that Omega doesn't mean weak. It means strong in a different way. Like you. I stared at my son. This small, fierce, wonderful creature. You said that. I meant it. You're the bravest person I know. You're scared of everything, but you do it anyway. My eyes burned. Or the wisdom. Both. That night, I sat on the porch, watching the stars. Leo was asleep, exhausted from his big day. Damon sat beside me, shoulder to shoulder. He's going to be a better wolf than I'll ever be, I said. He's going to be a better person. That's more important. I leaned into him. Thank you for not laughing when I panicked. I was laughing internally. Traitor. He kissed my hair. Always. Somewhere in the distance, wolves howled. I didn't flinch. Progress.